Alright guys, I just wanted to do a short video here just showing how to apply the decal for the triple track design. Some of you had some questions about it. I understand not everyone's used to working with decals. This is one that I've already done. This is an Odyssey 2-ball putter, white hot I believe, and that's the design that I come up with that I stuck on the club. And it worked great. It has worked great. This is a little bit different from the original ones that I was doing, but it still works great. It's a great concept. Right now we've got the clear backing, which just comes off just like this. The white that you see is from the existing 2-ball putter, and this goes on clear, so when it's peeled off, it's just the lines that are left. There's nothing but just the lines there. And then we've got the one with the white backing, which can go on a 2-ball putter, but it's already got the white on there. It might be good for a different type of putter, different brand that maybe doesn't have the white. Just kind of gives it a background. I just wanted to make a couple different options. I'm going to show you how to put them both on. First off, to do that, I'm going to go ahead and remove this original one here, which this is the very, very first one I ever made that I put on my club here. So I'm just gonna, take my time with it and stuff, and try to take off the vinyl. Systems worked really good. When Odyssey first came out about it, I didn't think it would be as good as it is, but it's really a game changer. The way that it allows you to line up your putts. Now, if you misread a green, that's on you. But if you line this up right and you've got a nice smooth backswing, the ball is going to go in exactly the direction that you want it to. And that was kind of a problem I noticed, is that when I would get up to address the ball, I would think I would know where I was aiming, but by the time I took 3-4 steps to the ball, got lined up, I was actually not aligned anymore. So that's kind of what this helps solve for me personally, and it's not for everyone. But and I'm not a great golfer. I maybe go out 10 times a year or so, if that many. But I can golf in the 90s, somewhere on there. I've been in the 80s a small amount of time in my career, and like most of you, I lose it on the putting green. I get out there and I finally get up on the green or make a good approach shot, and I 3-putt or 4-putt, completely misread it and stuff. And I'm not saying this is going to make you a scratch golfer, but what it does do for you is it just gives you the confidence that, because you stand back, look at the golf ball. Most of the time when you're reading it on the green, you have somewhat of an idea of where it's going to go. You think where you'd like it to go, where you'd like it to go. And you're looking at it and go, yep, this is going to be 1 cup to the left or 1 cup to the right. And by the time you take those steps, you kind of forget your alignment. The old way, I used to kind of pick a spot in front of the ball, about 12 inches, so I get my alignment going. Well, this is just that on steroids. It really helps you remember your line. It keeps you, where it needs to be and stuff. And you can stand back from your ball and line it up and just, make things look really nice as far as the putt is concerned. First thing I'm going to do, like I got in the instructions, is I'm going to take like a rubbing alcohol. I'm just going to, not saturate it, but just kind of clean up anything that might be on the club, any superficial dust or dirt or anything like that. Now, on the 2-ball putter, they have, and I'm just using these picks here. You could use toothpicks. You could use, like that floss, those little plastic floss sticks, toothpick/floss sticks. Those work really good. But just for showing purposes, these grooves right here, you don't want to get this too wet, simply because it'll take longer to dry, and then you'll be putting your sticker on something that's wet. So just make sure that when you put your alcohol on to clean it, that that you do it sparingly and that you don't soak it and saturate it. And if you do, just make sure you allow it plenty of time to dry. Now, this white on the Odyssey putter does stains a little bit. Like there's a spot right here that I can't get out for nothing. I've tried to use everything, and I'm sure they make some, cleaner that takes care of that. A lot of people resell golf clubs and stuff, but I don't have it. But anyway, it doesn't affect the decal at all. So the decal, first thing I'm gonna put on is a clear decal. These clear decals, I try to make them about 4.5 inches long. And the reason I do that is if you want to put it on like this and then save this part for another putter, you know, some people have been taking like white flat poker chips and they've been cutting this off, whatever they don't need, and then they take this decal and then they put it on the white poker chip, and it makes for a good ball marker. And it kind of goes along with the theme, you know, of your 2-ball putter and everything. But if you want to get this just as straight as possible, you want to kind of line it up overlapping, kind of like how this is here. And you kind of get a feel if you're too far this way or too far that way. And I'm sure if you have the instruments or a way to measure, you can make it perfectly a 90 degree with the surface of the putter going that way. I'm just kind of eyeballing it as best I can. So that's kind of the way that I've done it. Whichever works best for you is fine. You peel off the sticker from the white backing, which is this right here, the light blue color backing. And that's what we've done here. Now we can just discard this right here. If we want to keep a smaller piece of it, we can set it to the side. So with the clear background, you should be left with something like this, right along that lines. So, and this is an adhesive tape right here. The white or the clear is an adhesive tape. It's not going to stay on the putter. Of course, you could leave it on the putter if you wanted to, but it's not designed to stay on the putter. So what it's designed to do is to hold the non-adhesive side of these lines, which there's not much surface area on the lines, you can see. So you know, it needs to be able to grab a hold of it, and that's what the transfer paper does. So I'll put this down as, you know, as best I possibly can see, at least at this point. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Not perfect. Some of you OCDs might be screaming right now, but it is what it is. And I press it down. And then I'm going to come back, and I mentioned something in the description like a credit card edge or something. I've just got like this little scraper here. I mean, any vinyl store or any Hobby Lobby or something like that, you can pick these things up for pennies. I mean, they're not very expensive, maybe $1 if that. But really, a credit card edge works fine. But anyway, you just take it and you scrape down the lines really good while it's on there. While you still got the transfer paper on. Get the edges good. All right, so if I were to just start peeling this up, the lines would start coming with it, okay? I don't want that to happen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pick or my toothpick, and I'm gonna try to pick from the underside. I'm gonna try to pick these lines off and try to let them dangle if I can. I know it's difficult to see, but I'm pulling it away from the paper, okay? See how it's separated there? And I'm just gonna take it and maybe pull it out of the way just a little bit. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the red. Now the red's off the paper, if you can see that. I know I got some hot dog fingers here, so I'll try to get it as best I can where you can see. And then pull this one off. So basically, I'm just getting it away from the tape. And then I'm going to take each one and I'm going to try to pull them down and out of the way if I can. And it's difficult with this angle because I've got the camera set up. But I'm just taking them and then I'm pushing them straight down over the edge of the club as best I can. And I'm going to try to hold them there. Now while they're there, I'm just going to pull back on the transfer tape. All right, now there's the main meat and potatoes of the lines, okay? So now to finish this up, I'm just going to take a razor knife here and right around the circles. Just make sure your knife is sharp or you're going to be dragging the lines. So make sure you got a good sharp edge. I'm just going to be dragging. And if you've got a pick, this may not be a bad idea, is to maybe hold down the edge close to where you're cutting. And again, that's just to keep it from dragging a little bit, you know, as you're doing it, to mess up your lines. That one's cut, so I can take this blue and get rid of it. So that piece of blue is gone. And then I'm going to hold this down right there. I'm going to cut right across there. And then I can peel the red away. Got a tiny, tiny bit of movement right there on the end of the red, but I could just kind of push that over a little bit. There we go. Push that down. And so now we'll do the same thing with the blue. I'm going to hold it down with my toothpick or whatever else I've got. And I'm just going to cut right along that circle. I didn't quite cut it all the way. Let's see here. Okay, so now the front of it's done, just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back. Back might be a little bit easier for me because it's pointing right at me. I'm going to hold down the edge with a toothpick. I guess you could use your finger too. Just don't cut yourself, of course. But I'm going to cut right along the edge. There's one. Two. Three. All right, so I got the main edges, and now I'll simply just follow up on the inside. I told you you could use your finger, so I'm just going to cut right across there. I'm going to cut across this one, and it makes it easier on the 2-ball because there are the little bit of, tiny grooves on the edge of the white, so it does make it a little bit easier. Let's see here. Yeah, I need a little bit of a sharper of a razor blade. This isn't brand new, so it's kind of bending the lines just a little bit, but nothing that can't be straightened out. Okay. All right. Then I'll take my scraper and just kind of carefully just make sure everything's pushed down, going in the direction that's, along with the lines, not going side by side. All right, there we go.